Second chapter, the Yoga of Knowledge or Samkgya Shastra. Here, Sanjaya continues. Sanjaya is narrating the whole incident to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjaya here continue explaining what is happening in the battlefield. Sanjaya. Then his eyes filled with tears and his heart grieved and was bewildered with pity, and Sri Krishna spoke to him saying, Sri Krishna, Arjuna, is this hour of battle the time for scruples and fancies? Are they worthy of you who seek enlightenment? Any brave man who merely hopes for fame or heaven would despise them. What is this weakness? It is beneath you. Is it for nothing men call you the foe consumer? Shake off this cowardice, Arjuna. Stand up, Arjuna. Then Arjuna say, Bhishma and Drona are noble and ancient, worthy of the deepest reverence. How can I greet them with arrows in battle? If I kill them, how can I ever enjoy my wealth or any other pleasure? It will all be cursed with blood guilt. I would much rather spare them and eat the bread of a beggar, which will be worse to win this war or to lose it. I scarcely know. Even the sons of the Dhritarashtra stand in the enemy ranks. If we kill them, none of us will wish to live. Is this real pity that I feel or only a delusion? My mind gropes about in darkness. I cannot see where my duty lies, Krishna. I beg you, tell me frankly and clearly what I ought to do. I am your disciple. I put myself into your hands. Show me the way. Not this world's kingdom, supreme, unchallenged. No, nor the throne of the gods in heaven could ease this sorrow that numbs my senses. Sanjaya again explaining. When Arjuna, the foe-consuming, the never-slothful, had spoken thus to Govinda, ruler of the senses, he added, I will not fight, and was silent. Then to him, who thus sorrowed between the two armies, the ruler of the senses spoke smiling. Ruler of the senses is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna speaking. Sri Krishna. Your words are wise, Arjuna, but your sorrow is for nothing. The truly wise mourn nothing for the living nor for the dead. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any of these kings, nor is there any future in which we shall cease to be. Just as the dweller in this body passes through childhood, youth, and old age, so at death he merely passes into another kind of body. The wise are not deceived by that. Feelings of heat and cold, pleasure and pain are caused by the contact of the senses with their objects. They come and they go, never lasting long. You must accept them. The serene spirit accepts pleasure and pain with an even mind and is unmoved by either. He alone is worthy of immortality. That which is non-existent can never come into being, and that which is can never cease to be. Those who have known the inmost reality know also the nature of is and is not. That reality which pervades the universe is indestructible. No one has power to change the changeless. Bodies are said to die, but that which possesses the body is eternal. It cannot be limited or destroyed. Therefore, you must fight. So, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that only our soul is permanent, the body is perishable, and it will perish anyway. So, no need to cry for the perishable things and concentrate on the soul. No. Here the physics also plays here. Physics says that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Whatever the energy exist in the same quantity. That is what here Krishna also meaning. Here the Hindus say that the soul, there is a soul it is the soul of the universe, and our small souls are all part of that big soul. That is Parama. We are small souls. That is what the Bhagavad Gita will teach us later. Slowly, it will make us aware about it. Our body and the Parama, the ultimate soul. That is Kshetrajna Yoga, Purushottama Yoga, all tell us. Kshetra is our body, Kshetrajna is the one who observes the body, that is the soul. And all our souls together is the Brahma, the God soul. That is, there is only one soul. Ultimately, everything is one. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. So the Krishna is here explaining about the perishable body and the everlasting soul. Everlasting soul. Soul only exists forever. So Krishna continues. Soul in Malayalam, in Sanskritam, it means Atma. So, some say this Atman is slain and others call it the slayer. They know nothing. How can it slay, or who shall slay it? Know this Atman, unborn, undying, never ceasing, never beginning, deathless, breathless, birthless, unchanging forever. How can it die, the death of the body? Knowing it birthless, knowing it deathless, knowing it endless, forever unchanging. Dream not you do the deed of the killer. Dream not the power is yours to command it. Worn out garments are shed by the body. Worn out bodies are shed by the dweller within the body. New bodies are donned by the dweller like garments. Not wounded by weapons, not burnt by fire, not dried by the wind, not wetted by water. Such is the Atman. Not dried, not wetted, not burnt, not wounded, innermost element, everywhere, always, being of beings, changeless, eternal, forever and ever. This Atman cannot be manifested to the senses or thought about by the mind. It is not subject to modification. Since you know this, you should not grieve. But if you should suppose this Atman to be subject to constant birth and death, even then you ought not to be sorry. Death is certain for the born. Death is certain for the born. Rebirth is certain for the dead. You should not grieve for what is unavoidable. Before birth, beings are not manifest to our human senses. In the interim between birth and death, they are manifest. At death, they return to the unmanifest again. What is there in all this to grieve over? There are some who have actually looked upon the Atman and understood it in all its wonder. Others can only speak of it as wonderful beyond their understanding. Others know of its wonder by hearsay. And there are others who are told about it and do not understand a word. He who dwells within all living bodies remains forever indestructible. Therefore, you should never mourn for anyone. Even if you consider this from the standpoint of your own caste duty, you ought not be hesitant. For to a warrior, there is nothing nobler than a righteous war. Happy are the warriors to whom a battle such as this comes. It opens a door to heaven. But if you refuse to fight this righteous war, you will be turning aside from your duty. You will be a sinner and disgraced. People will speak ill of you throughout the ages. To a man who values his honor, that is surely worse than death. The warrior chiefs will believe it was fear that drove you from the battle. You will be despised by those who have admired you so long. Your enemies also will slander your courage. You will use the words which should never be spoken. What could be harder to hear than that? Die and you win heaven. Conquer and you enjoy the earth. Stand up now, son of Kundi, and resolve to fight. You realize that pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat are all one and the same. Then go into battle. Do this and you cannot commit any sin. I have explained to you the true nature of the Atman. Now listen to the method of Karma Yoga. If you can understand and follow it, you will be able to break the chains of desire which blind you to your actions. So, until now, Krishna explained about the Atma, and now Krishna is proceeding towards Karma Yoga, because doing actions without expecting any rewards. Then by doing so, one can be liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and by not expecting any results from our karma, we will get moksha or liberation. That is Karma Yoga. And here God explain about Karma Yoga. Because we are humans, we have to do our karma, but without expecting any rewards, we do our karma, we will get enlightenment through it also. Here, Arjuna's duty is to do all right. So, he has to do his karma, even if he fails or wins. He has to participate, he has to do his duty. Then only he can get moksha or enlightenment. So, and that is what God is going to explain next. In this yoga, that is Karma Yoga, even the abortive attempt is not wasted, nor can it produce a contrary result. Even a little practice of this yoga will save you from the terrible wheel of rebirth and death. In this yoga, the will is directed singly towards one ideal. When a man lacks this discrimination, his will wanders in all directions after innumerable aims. Those who lack discrimination may quote the letter of the scripture, but they are really denying its inner truth. They are full of worldly desires and hungry for the rewards of heaven. They use beautiful figures of speech. They teach elaborate rituals which are supported to obtain pleasure and power for those who perform them. But actually, they understand nothing except the law of karma that chains men to rebirth. Those whose discrimination is stolen away by such talk grow deeply attached to pleasure and power. And so they are unable to develop that concentration of the will which leads a man to absorption in God. The Vedas teach us about the three gunas and their functions. You, Arjuna, must overcome the three gunas. You must be free from the pairs of opposites. Poise your mind in tranquility. Take care neither to acquire nor to hold. Be established in the consciousness of the Atman always. When the whole country is flooded, the reservoir becomes superfluous. So, to the illumined seer, the Vedas are all superfluous. You have the right to work, but for the work's sake only. You have no right to the fruits of work. Desire for the fruit of work must never be your motive in working. Never give way to laziness either. Perform every action with your heart fixed on the Supreme Lord. Renounce attachment to the fruits. Be even-tempered in success and failure, for it is this evenness of temper which is meant by yoga. Work done with anxiety about results is far inferior to work done without such anxiety in the calm of self-surrender. Seek refuge in the knowledge of Brahman. They who work selfishly for results are miserable. In the calm of self-surrender, you can free yourself from the bondage of virtue and vice during this very life. Devote yourself, therefore, to reaching union with Brahman. To unite the heart with Brahman and then to act, that is the secret of non-attached work. In the calm of self-surrender, the sages renounce the fruits of their actions and so reach enlightenment. Then they are free from the bondage of rebirth and pass to that state which is beyond all evil. When your intellect has cleared itself of its delusions, you will become indifferent to the results of all action, present or future. At present, your intellect is bewildered by conflicting interpretations of the scriptures. When it can rest steady and undistracted in contemplation of the Atman, then you will reach union with the Atman. So here Krishna asks Arjuna to do his karmas without expecting any results, and by doing so he can reach an enlightenment to know his Atman and concentrate on his Atman and do whatever karma is he is supposed to do. He do it without expecting any results. But his concentration must be in his Atman, the Brahma only, because Brahma is only the reality, the truth. Every other thing is just Maya. So just think about that Brahman and do our works and move on. That is what Krishna says. So forget about the results and ourselves and our selfishness and all other scriptures which preaches about the of gaining something or attaining something. All this, forget about all this and just concentrate on the Brahma and do your work, do your karma without expecting any results. So Krishna here explained about Karma Yoga. Then Arjuna has now got one doubt. And Arjuna asked, Krishna, how can one identify a man who is firmly established and absorbed in Brahman? In what manner does an illumined soul speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? Because Arjuna really want to know how if such a person exists, how it will be, how he looks like. Arjuna is so anxious about the consequences of this of applying this method. So the Krishna says, elaborates about the man who practices Karma Yoga or a yogi. Actually, he is a yogi also. Because so here Krishna explaining. He knows bliss in the Atman and wants nothing else. Cravings torment the heart. He renounces cravings. I call him illumined. Not shaken by adversity, not hankering after happiness, free from fear, free from anger, free from the things of desire, or I call him a seer and illumined. The bonds of his flesh are broken. He is lucky and does not rejoice. He is unlucky and does not weep. I call him illumined. The tortoise can draw in his legs. And the tortoise can draw in his legs. The seer can draw in his senses. I call him illumined. The obstinate run away from what they desire, but carry their desires with them. The obstinate run away from what they desire, but carry their desires with them. When a man enters reality, he leaves his desires behind him. Even a mind that knows the path can be dragged from the path. The senses are so unruly, but he controls the senses and recollects the mind and fixes it on me. I call him illumined. Thinking about sense objects will attach you to sense objects. Grow attached and you become addicted. Thought your addiction, it turns to anger. By angry and you confuse your mind. Confuse your mind, you forget the lesson of experience. Forget experience, you lose discrimination. Lose discrimination and you miss life's only purpose. That is attaining moksha. You will forget everything. You cannot do anything. So where comes all this? Thinking about sense objects. So if we indulge in sensual pleasures and give much importance to our sensual pleasures, all these things happen. We cannot reach Brahman. We cannot know about, we will be unable to know about the Brahman or our Atman. When he has no lust, no hatred, a man walks safely among the things of lust and hatred to obey the Atman. In his peaceful joy, sorrow melts into that clear peace. His quiet mind is soon established in peace. So, when he has no lust, no hatred, a man walks safely among the things of lust and hatred. To obey the Atman is his peaceful joy. Sorrow melts into that clear peace. His quiet mind is soon established in peace. This is what happens to a man who has controlled his mind and not indulge in sensual pleasures and rise above the sensual desires. Unwanted sensual pleasures. Normal pleasures, okay. That will, the Krishna will elaborate detailedly about it later. The uncontrolled mind does not guess that the Atman is present. How can it meditate? Without meditation, where is peace? Without peace, where is happiness? The wind turns a ship from its course upon the waters. The wandering winds of the senses cast man's mind adrift. And turn his better judgment from its course. When a man can still the senses, I call him illumined. The recollected mind is awake in the knowledge of the Atman, which is dark night to the ignorant. The ignorant are awake in their sense life, which they think is daylight. To the seer it is darkness. Which is the dark night to the ignorant. The ignorant are awake in their sense life, which they think is daylight. To the seer it is darkness. Water flows continuously into the ocean, but the ocean is never disturbed. Desire flows into the mind of the seer, but he is never disturbed. The seer knows peace. The man who stirs up his own lusts can never know peace. He knows peace who has forgotten desire. He lives without craving, free from ego, free from pride. This is the state of enlightenment in Brahman. A man does not fall back from it into delusion. Even at the moment of death, he is alive in that enlightenment. Brahman and he are one. So here concludes the Karma Yoga and the description of the Karma Yogi. So here Arjuna learned about Atman and Karma, how to reach the Atman, how to know about the Atman and live peacefully with a controlled mind and senses. This is what requires to live in this world peacefully. In order to attain a peaceful mind, we have to do our karmas without any selfish motives, without expecting any results. Just dedicate all our karmas to God. Then and see all our success and failures equally, and with an equal mind see everything. Then we get peace. And then slowly we can be at peace and attain moksha or enlightenment.